Hey everybody, sorry I'm running a little tiny behind. Let me go adjust that. And so let me go post this over on the website. Website is denverguitarorchestra.com, and link to join, delete, command, V, shift. I thought I had the website updated. I updated the classical stuff, but I didn't update the rest of it, and so I'm 4 minutes late getting started here. So give me just one more second. We'll get everything posted up and then we'll get going. If you're watching the replay, just hold on tight. So we're going to get started right away. All right, so that should work. Let me go over here and fix this one window, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. HTTPS : Denver, DEN, Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. Patience. And guitar, open, and tweet. Alright, so we're on that. And we have 4 of these. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see. Let's close this. I think we're okay. I think we're ready to go. All right, so today we are playing Farmer in the Dell. Not that great of a song, but a really important skill set. Row, Row, Row Your Boat, which is a great song and a really important skill set. Down in the Valley and Drunken Sailor for Book 2. Book 3, I'm pretty sure we decided we were going to play Santa Lucia again, and then This Little Light of Mine, and then classical. We've got 5 pieces we're going to try to get through. We'll see how many we get through. Sandy's in. Hi, Sandy. Good evening to you. 80% color, 50%, 58 degrees. Snow coming on Friday. It's getting legit, right? Vic, it sounded good. And cloudy up in Eugene. We had a perfect day in here in Colorado. I think it was about 70 degrees and no clouds, no rain. Just beautiful out there. The exciting news is somehow I've managed to lose my Apple Pencil, and so I had to go to the mall to get a new one. I go to the mall about once every 10 years, whether I need to or not. And I had to spend an insane amount of money to replace it. I don't know what happened to it. It is the craziest thing. All right, I think I have the website updated correctly, and you guys will let me know if I've made a goof. I'm 99% sure we finished we talked about Farmer in the Dell last week on Book 1. You can tell my mind is just everywhere these days, which is nothing new, but I feel bad about it for you guys. So we're going to talk about Farmer in the Dell, and really this Farmer in the Dell is sort of the stepping off point to playing fingerstyle guitar. And so let's double check our tunings. E, A, D, G, B, and E. My thumb right here is killing me. One of the songs we're playing over at the university requires me to do this crazy thing where I do this. I have to cross these strings over and make this sound, and it's just tearing the heck out of my finger. So I'm playing injured. We remind ourselves in Book 1, Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Goodbye, Eddie. I realized my in-person class here at the city did not have the correct answer last week when I asked them what the phrase that pays is, so I got to be on top of that a little bit better. Hopefully you're holding the guitar with this at a steep angle. That makes all of the rest of this work, and your thumb is behind the fat part of the neck. Let us play Farmer in the Dell. Well, Linda's in too, 68 and humid up in Vancouver. She'll take that any day. All right, Farmer in the Dell. Remember, you plant these 2 fingers. They don't move. This is the only finger you're going to move, ring finger. Sometimes it'll be down, sometimes it'll be up, sometimes it'll be on the first string. Okay, let's give it a try. Grab the A chord, and let's just play through it one time. Remember, when you're in 6/8, you want 2 strums per measure, either 1, 2, 1, 2, or better, plucking 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2. The farmer in the dell the farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. Do arpeggio picking, which is thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, index, middle, ring. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. Okay, and that's strumming a 4 pattern inside of a 6/8 measure, so a little linky. Then let's do the melody again. Hold these fingers, hold the chord on, because all of the notes you need to play will be held down except for a couple. Okay, and then probably just pluck with your thumb over on the right hand. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Ring finger up and back down. Oh, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. First string. Oh, oh, ring finger. 2, oh, put it back. 2, 2. Lift it up. Oh, 2, 2. Oh, oh, 2. Now I just noticed I said use your thumb, and then I noticed I just magically went to my claw position to play that whole thing. And that way my thumb was on the 4th string, index finger on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 2nd string, ring finger on the 1st string, and then I've just got a finger on every single string I'm going to be plucking, and I don't have to do anything other than just pick the right string. If we did it with thumb, let's hear how that would go. 1, 2. Cute little melody. All right, and then finally, this is where the journey into fingerstyle begins. Okay, these 2 fingers don't move. Do exactly the same thing with your ring fingers that you did before, only instead of plucking just the melody note, your thumb's going to go down over the strings that it's recommending you play. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2. 2, strum, 2, 2, 2, strum, 2, oh, oh, strum, 2, 2, 2, strum, 2, 2, strum, oh, 2, strum, 2, 2, oh, strum, 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 strum. Strum, oh, 2 to the top, 2, strum, 2, 2, 2, strum, 2, oh, oh, strum, 2, 2, 2, strum, 2, 2, strum, oh, 2, strum, 2, 2, oh, strum, strum, strum. Strum, strum. Let your guitar ring. That's pretty. Okay, so it's kind of a goofy song, but it actually teaches you exactly what you need to know to get to that next level. Let's go take a peek at Row, Row, Row Your Boat. All right, so if you are in book 1, this is your introduction to the D chord. Okay, so let's talk about that. Index finger on the 3rd string. How do you play a D chord? 3rd string, 2nd fret. Middle finger, 1st string, 2nd fret, and then your ring finger jumps way out in front to get it your 3rd fret, 2nd string. Okay, and on D chord, we don't want to hit the 6th string for sure. It's okay if you hit the 5th string, but you don't really rather not. And 4th string down is the best voicing on this chord. Okay, so it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, those are that's your chord. Let's play through it. I wrote a special verse just for you guys. Okay, that's the 3rd verse down. We'll do the 1st verse and the 3rd verse. Okay, again we're in 6/8, so you're thinking two plucks per measure. Here we go. 1, 2. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. your axe, rock like you're a star. E-A-D-G-B-E, don't you dare mess with me, master of guitar. Okay, so again, when you're in 6/8, probably 2 plucks or 2 strums per measure is good. You can do a 6 pattern. Thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. Thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. Thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, so when you're thinking 6/8, there's actually a total of 3 possible ways to think about it, but usually 95% of the time you're either thinking, well, I'd say probably 80% of the time you're thinking in 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. The other less amount of time you're thinking about, and although guitarists will use it more than other people because we do have that nice ability to do a 6-finger arpeggio pattern, is when you're in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think so. When we get a piece of music out, I think the big takeaway is check the meter, see what meter you're going to be playing in to help you know how to approach the piece of music. Let's play the melody. Now here's an interesting thing. When we start, we always talk about index in the 1st fret, middle in the 2nd fret, ring in the 3rd fret, pinky in the 4th fret. And when you did Frere Jacques, or Brother John in this case, that's exactly what we did in the beginning. Middle finger, pinky finger, middle, open 2, 4, open, open 2, 4, open. So we were playing in 1st position. With this song, we have to do a crazy thing. We go up to 2nd position. So index finger is on 2, middle finger is in the 3rd fret, ring finger is in the 4th fret, pinky's on 5. Now we can cover everything except for the middle 2 measures, or the middle 1 measure, measure 5. The whole thing will be covered there and we won't have to move. When we get to measure 5, we are going to be jumping up to the 10th fret, which is down here, right? And in fact, you're going to theoretically use 2 10s, an 11, and a 12. Okay, that's kind of challenging to get to. Okay, and if you can't get that, forget this guy and just do 2 10s and an 11. But for the melody itself, all we're going to do is go down and put our index finger over both 10s, the 10 and the 10, on strings 1 and 2. Okay, and so that's what you're going to be doing there. Okay, so let's first get just into 2nd position. Let's play until we get there. We'll take a minute when it comes time to get there to jump up the neck. Okay, so 2 3s, ready, play. 3 3, and then 3 0 2, 3 0, index finger 2 2 0 2, middle 3, pinky on 5. Okay, let it ring. Now slide all the way down, index finger over both 10s on the 1st and 2nd string. 10 10 10 10 10 10. Leap like you're a jackrabbit. Down to 10, or down to 2 2 2 2, middle finger on 3, pinky on the 5, middle finger on 3, index on 2, open, and then 3. Okay, together from the top. 1 2. Talk a little bit about vibrato. When you get to row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, you got a pinky, it's on 5, it's all by itself for a whole measure. Do what we call vibrato. Okay, just wiggle your finger. You get a wah 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 sound out of your guitar. Makes you sound very professional. Keeps the string moving and vibrating a little bit differently than it would if you just went plunk. Okay. Other place that you want to do that is when you get to the 3 at the very end of the song. Just wiggle it just a little bit. So let's do that one more time, practicing vibrato. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, oh, 2, 2, oh, 2, 3, vibrato. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 2, oh, vibrato. Okay, it just makes you sound more professional. Makes you sound good. All right, next, let's talk tough acts. If you were struggling with Frere Jacques, you will also struggle with Row, Row, Row Your Boat. But the cool part is Row, Row, Row Your Boat is a really nice arrangement. Firmer in the Dell, it's to introduce you to the concept, but Row, Row, Row Your Boat is one of those where I really want you to get good at it, okay? So put your D chord on. Let's go through it. First 3 things you're going to do is strum 0, 2, and 3. You're already holding 0, 2, and 3 down, so it's just strumming the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string. So do that 3 times. Now you have a 0, but you're holding a 2 down right now, so lift your middle finger up, play the 0, and then put it right back down, and then play all 4 strings. Okay, strum that one more time. Middle finger up, put it back, add your pinky on to get the 3, and then now probably for most of you it's going to make sense to do index, middle, and pinky. Just stretch everybody out. So you have 2, 3, and 5, index, middle, and pinky, and then strum all 4 all 4 strings. And then you have the 3 and 2, you're already holding them down. Now, jump to the 10. Again, put your little mini bar on 10, strings 1 and 2, but now your middle finger is going to go up here on 11. Okay? And then hit to the, and I usually just pluck with these 2 fingers, thumb and index. 10, 10, 10, and then 10 and 11, 10. And I'm going to jump all the way back down to the D chord, and I'm going to pluck all 3. And then I'm going to just pluck strings 4, 3, and 2. I'm not changing anything over here. Okay. Then again, stretch your finger out. Index, middle, pinky, and then pluck 4 strings. Okay, and you could either pluck or strum them here. Okay, pull it back, put your ring finger on there to get the 3. Now put your middle finger back where it goes and raise your ring finger up. Lift your middle finger up, and then it's 3 strings. And then decorative notes you're already holding down. Okay. Let me play through it all the way. If you can keep up, that's great. If you can't keep up, make sure you know what I'm doing. And then also you can just play melody, right? You can always play melody along with me when I'm playing tough acts, and you'll make us sound better. Okay, from the top, really slow. 1, 2. Strum, 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 oh, strum. Strum, oh, strum, 3, strum, bum, bum, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11, just through all 3. Stretch out. Pick up your middle. That's the job for the week, is to try to make that happen. Now, if you're obviously, tough acts is one of those things that takes a while to get comfy with. So don't feel like you have to get everything the first week because that's still a lot. But the big key is I want you to just know what you're supposed to do and then take your time. Don't rush it. Don't force it. If you can't play at that speed, that's fine. Play it at half that speed. Play it at a quarter of that speed, so that you have time to really think about, all right, this next piece of information, 0, 2, 3, I'm supposed to do this. And then, okay, I'll do that 2 more times. And then it's 0. All right, I gotta lift up my middle finger. And then I gotta put it right back down, 0, 2, 3, 2. So really be mindful about what exactly do you do. Everything is set up here. The hardest move, I think, is when you are in your D chord and you need to get those 5s, reorienting your whole hand so that you've got index, middle, and pinky. I think that's pretty challenging. And then, of course, jumping up here to the 10s and 11s. And then right back down to these D chords. That's also very challenging. So plenty of stuff on here to keep you busy. And again, it's exactly the same stuff as Farmer in the Dell, but now you're using a more sophisticated chord palette because you're using this D chord down here and a D chord up here, whereas on Farmer in the Dell, we just planted it and never moved the chord. Okay, so you're getting a chance to get that feeling of 2 chords at the same time. All right, beautiful. That's your job to work on that this week. Book 1, off you go. Okay. Oh, don't go anywhere. Just hang around and play some more stuff with us. All right, book 2, Down in the Valley. And guys, you will let me know if I'm doing this wrong. I'm 99% sure we finished talking about Down in the Valley last week. So let's do it. And hopefully I'm not lying to myself, that we were ready to get going on this. Let's do, and then guys, as always, I apologize for my singing, but I feel like it's something that I have to do for those of you guys that are better singers, to really be thinking about how do I go about approaching this. If I want to sing a song in 3/4 that uses the C chord and the G chord, how do I go about doing that? Okay. Now remember, down in measure 8, we actually have a G7. Okay, and in order to get to the G7, you probably will want to use the alternate G on the string, on the chord before that. So that happens at measure 7, and then it also happens again at measure 20. So those are places where you might think about using your alternate G shape, to make it easier to get to the next chord. Okay, and so if I'm going to review those alternate shapes, so G chord, we start by index, middle, and ring, right? Okay, and then to get fancy, we move this ring finger up to the 2nd string and add in your pinky finger there. Okay, so that's a fancier G, a little more snappy G. Okay, and then your alternate G is middle, ring, and pinky. Okay, and especially if you're a singer, you're going to want that G chord. That G chord's going to come in real handy, because C chord's hanging out right below it, and G7 is available then. Okay, so that alternate G chord shape is probably going to be your friend if you're a singer. Okay. Going to be your friend if you're an instrumentalist too, but not as instantaneously. Okay, all right. So, and then of course C chord. All right. What I want to do is just pluck 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, and then the second time through, I'll probably pick that up. 2, 3. Down in the down. What's the first note? Let me down in. Bum, bum, bum. Here we go. 1, 2, play. Down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Hear the wind blow, dear. Hear the wind blow. Late in the evening, hear the Now you might get away with a arpeggio pattern that's that slow on a song like this, but not usually. That's too slow, right? So here's the smarter arpeggio pattern. When you're in 3, do your 6 pattern: thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. So now you're just going to pluck 2 strings for every beat. Okay, and what I recommend is thumb goes on the C string. Whenever you're on the C chord, just hit your thumb on the C string, which is usually your A string, 5th string, and then when you're in the G chord, have your thumb hit this top string. Okay, now you've rooted the chord. So in other words, when you're on C, your thumb's here, index, middle, ring, middle, index. Now you've got a 6 pattern, and you can fill up your measures with a little bit more energy and a little bit, and everything lines up just a tiny bit better. Okay, so in other words, we're plucking on the 8th note. So from the top, and again, as always, I apologize for my singing. First note's here: down, 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 down. Here we go. Down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow, hear the wind blow, dear. Hear the wind blow, late in the evening. Hear the wind blow. Okay, so that's the basic idea. I need to turn my page turner on because I don't know what's going on page 2. There we go. All right. Late in the evening, hear the wind blow. Okay, I got it right. So that's arpeggio picking, and again, something you want to master, even if you're never going to be a singer, because that business of having control of your right hand is so important. And I talk about it all the time. To the point of boring myself, but if I can talk you into doing it, you're going to end up with a much better song overall than if you don't ever do it. Because the other reason you do that is eventually that leads to Travis picking, right? Boom, 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 and then sort of different types of patterns over here, and then you really, people are like, oh, that you're really good. You're playing chords with a fancy arpeggio. I don't know if that's great or not. Probably pretty good. Let's play the melody really quickly. My thumb is killing me tonight, so let's. I want to use my claw shape for all of this. From the top. Melody only. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3. Oh, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. 1, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3. Oh, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see if you play straight melody that you don't have a lot of work to do here. It's all 1s and 3s. The whole thing drops in piece of cake. No problem, right? That's why we want to play Tough X, because we want to make everything sound fancy. Okay, so grab your C chord and let's see what we can do with this. From the top, not too fast. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, where's my C chord? Let's go play it one more time. Up from the top. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's it, right? That's a pretty nice piece of song. The nice part about Tough Axe is it combines the chords, combines the melody, and gives you some decorative notes in there so that you don't have those weird long pauses in the music where nothing's going on. Even if you're strumming it, hear the wind blow, strum, 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 right? And you're just busy filling up space with just racket. Whereas you can actually get some musical use out of arpeggio picking, out of adding the chords, adding in the melody, getting the whole package together. All of a sudden you got a song that people will be like, they will not be wondering why there's these long pauses in there, because you're putting in music in the middle of them. So there we go. Nice little piece of music. I think it's an excellent introduction into C chord, G chord, and G7. I think for me, C chord has always been my tough chord. I just, my fingers just really are very suspicious of this shape, and so I have quite a number of songs in Book 2 that I do actually play on a regular basis, just to warm up my C chord. Right, I'm gonna go play this cool one in C, and you'll notice on the website I went ahead and put the names of all of the chords in each song, so that if you say, oh, I need to work on my C chord, you don't need to go play some hard song where the C chord's in it. Go back to Book 2. Find yourself a song with some whatever chords in it that you need to practice, and play that one a little while. All right, there we go. There's Down in the Valley. Let's go take a look at Drunken Sailor. All right, so I don't want to look at Drunken Sailor page 1. I want you to go directly to page 2. Go directly to page 2. Okay, on Drunken Sailor for page 2, you have chord choices. So the main chord choice, you'll see it in the song, is A minor and G. Okay, so A minor, okay, and that's the same as your E chord, okay, but just move down a string. And you'll notice they make pretty nice friends. A minor, E chord, A minor, E chord, A chord, A minor, right? They make pretty good friends. We'll play. We've already played a ton of that on the classical page of A minors and E's. Okay, but here they want A minor, G. Okay? And so if I'm only looking at page 2, I have to just know how the song goes, which luckily I do. And when you go to any type of guitar get together, this is how the music will look. It'll look exactly like this, and you're expected to know how you're expected to just go along, use your ears straighting, and know where to strum. So we're going to try that right now. Okay, so A minor and G. So on page 1, of course, is the shapes if you need to look at them, but probably you don't. Okay, so here's A minor and G. You've been doing since Three Blind Mice. Okay, 1, 2, ready, sing. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Change. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, hooray, and up she rises. up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Okay, so that's what you got. And when you go to most people's houses and they say, hey, let's get together and play a little guitar, that's how you're going to play. And that's a really fun way to play, right? You got to have somebody who can sing better than I do, but you can still have fun with it. Now, there's smarter things to do, as always. What if we did arpeggio picking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. Grab your A minor. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? G chord. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Keep going. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Okay. Once you get, I'm just using the same 4 fingers on the same 4 strings, and I'm doing, and it's sounding okay, right? Now again, with this particular chord structure, when you play the A minor, it sounds really great if your thumb would be on the A string, and when you do the G chord, put your thumb on the 6th string. You can still leave these 3, your index, middle, and ring can stay on the same string as they were before, and you'll sound even better because now you're going to root the chord. Okay, so let's try that. A, thumb on the A, other fingers still on the bottom 3 strings, and then when you switch to G, put your thumb on the 6th string. Let's see how that goes. 1, 2, here we go. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. And if it's in A minor, finish on an A string, and you'll be like, that's the end of the song. Sounds cool, right? So again, what we're talking about there when you're singing and strumming is rooting the chord. Whatever your lowest note is on that chord, the name of the note, the name of the chord, right? A minor in this case. Try to find your string that's an A, and that's it. In Row, Row, Row Your Boat, our chord was D. You can root that on the D string, right? Row, row, row your boat, right? That D note just keeps ringing in there, keeps going in there, just helps you take care of everything. It's why bass players make bands sound so great. They don't have to work very hard. They just got to toss in the name of that chord on the string that it belongs, and all of a sudden the whole thing just feels very solid and useful. And then of course over in the over at the university, then they start messing around, putting the wrong note in the bass and all this stuff. But for us mere mortals, just rooting that chord with whatever the name of the chord is, finding that on the lowest string possible, and then all of a sudden it just sounds really stable and complete. Now, the other thing we want to talk about on this one is transposing. This is your introduction to transposition. I don't have a ton of this stuff in this program because honestly, the music gets too complicated and sophisticated too quickly. But in real life, people kind of do this quite often. Okay, so we've been playing A minor and G to get this song to work. Now, if you put it on your hands, if you put A minor here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You're using the 7th chord as its friend. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A and G are going together. A minor and G are, so 1 and 7 makes sense. Now, a lot of times when we're in major keys, 1, 4, and 5 sound great together, but in minor keys, 1 and 7 are really great friends. Okay, there's other chords that are pretty nice in minor keys as well, but those two work really great together. Let's go down to the bottom of page 2, and you're going to see some other chord sets. One is D minor and C. So if I put D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay, again, 1 and 7 are friends. Let's learn how to make a D minor. You know how you make your D. This one, all you're going to do is put this index finger down here and then raise your middle finger up. Now you got your D minor, sort of stretched out. And again, you got your D chord. D string is your root, so just use your 4 strings down. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? And then to get to C, index finger up, middle finger up, ring finger way up. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Back to D minor. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Back to C chord. Early in the, back to D minor. Morning. Now, when you are transposing, you don't want to be looking at the sheet, the lyrics and where the chords are, because every time you see the G, your brain's gonna shut down, right? You just need to know you're playing D minor and C, D minor and C, and then you need to trust your gut that you're gonna know when to switch the chord. Okay, so you're just listening for those chord changes. Your body will tell you, hey, it's time to change chords, and then stare at your left hand, and you will be going from automatically, you will just magically go from this shape to this shape and back. You're only caring about those 2 shapes. And again, don't even think about what the names of those shapes. That shape goes to this shape and back. Okay, let's try it. Okay, 1, 2, ready, play. Shave his, what, yes, here we go. I'm going to do the first verse. I was going to surprise you with the first additional verse. Here we go. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Early in the morning. Okay. Now you notice, for me, the vocal part went much too high, for my singing voice, and that will happen when you switch from one to the other. Some of you have been like, no, that's much more in my singing range, and that's why we transpose most of the time, is, hey, these chords aren't in my vocal range very good. Let's try a different chord set and see how it works. Okay, same exact song, just different. You change one chord, you have to change all the chords, and they have to keep the same relationship between the chords. Okay, so let's try one other chord set. It's going to do your E minor, just to make an E minor. Put your E chord on from book 1, and then lift up your index finger. That's the best chord you can make in the world, right? E minor on a guitar. Okay, that's your main chord. E, F, G, A, B, C. D is your 7th chord. Okay. And then back to E. Okay. Give it a try. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Okay, so that's maybe a little bit too low for my voice. And so you can see why A minor and G is the one I offer you first, because that's within my singing range, such as it is. D minor is a little too high, E minor is a little too low, but you may find one of those chord pairs to work better for you. I will only briefly mention, for those of you guys that are working on bar chords, and that's probably those of you in book 3 or higher, if you take a bar on 1 and the minor shape in front of it. So take your A minor, move it up 1 fret, and add a bar. What What shall we do with the drunken sailor? And then slide your bar up to 4, and then move this A minor shape up to E major shape. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Then drum back, drum down, A minor shape in front. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Okay, what you're doing is you're taking a movable bar shape, the A minor shape, moving it up to 4 and putting on the major shape. Okay. Now the nice part about that, if you're working on your bars, is you can now play this in every key. So if I do it on 1, like it says, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? But if that doesn't fit my voice, what about on 2? Put the A minor shape in front. Now we're going to do 2 and 5. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Okay, so it's a fun thing to practice, a fun thing to work on. And also, when you're working on bar chords, guys, I spent years working on them. Shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? So, and that's still something that I do pretty regularly. You hit dead notes while you're getting everything put in place, and then squish a little harder, and all of a sudden the music comes out. But you're going to hit a lot of really crummy bar chords in your career. If you don't hit a lot of crummy bar chords in your life, then you will never appreciate playing guitar on the level that we need to appreciate it. I will mention very quickly, on this song, you do have the melody. There's not much melody here. Not a lot of melody on that. That's why we're not going to talk about that really. And honestly, even the tough axe here is not really that great. Right? It's okay, but it would be kind of fun to goof around with. But we won't spend much time on that part of this song. This song is really about getting you to think about chords and how you transpose into different keys. And then when you're new to music, you're like, I don't think I want to know all that stuff. You probably don't when you're newer. When you get down the road, I want you to be like, okay, at some point Gary told us about there was fingers and there were chords and something about moving it up the neck and switching chords around, and so I just want you to know, hey, we talked about that at one point, because down the road, especially if you're a singer, you're going to need to transpose songs, and I want you to have some of the tools in place, or at least the basic concept of transposing in place, so that it's not a new information when you run into it. Basically, transposing means playing the exact same song in the exact same way, either higher or lower. Okay, some chords will sound much nicer than others. If you're on the piano, key of C sounds great. Key of E flat sounds even better, right? And we don't. If you go to the piano, you'd think it'd all be tuned exactly the same, but it's not. They do, in modern times, the last 400 years or so, they tune the piano so it's a little bit off, and that way each key has its own unique character. And you'll find that on guitar. There's certain chords and keys that you just would way rather play in than others. E minor is an obvious choice. Right, give me more songs like that, right? E minor, A minor, and B7 sounds so cool. G, if you go to A minor, sounds pretty good. Sounds really nice. I can get along with that. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. So A minor, D minor, and E7 sound pretty good on a guitar. guitar. You'll get into other keys that are just, I don't know, like I think the key is C chord, F chord, G chord, C chord. I don't know. To me, that doesn't have the same lusciousness that some of the other keys have, and so especially when you get ready to start writing your own music, you'll be like, I want to start with the good keys, and you'll have had a basic introduction. So this week, spent a lot of time just doing Drunken Sailor in the different chords that I've given you. That's 3 to 4 different keys, really. And if the bar chording is too much, just don't worry about it. Right? I wouldn't spend a ton of time losing sleep over that one, because those are hard. You're not really supposed to be digging into bar chords until the very end of book 2 anyway. All right, Drunken Sailor. We spent a little bit more, way more. Is it already 7? Oh my gosh, you guys. Sorry. All right, so now we got to go fast. All right, so let's play. And guys, I believe we agreed we're going to keep Santa Lucia for this week. You'll yell at me if that's not true, but I believe we're doing Santa Lucia. All right, so go grab that one. What happened to the hour? Oh my gosh. I love talking about book 2 so much. All right, Santa Lucia. Let's knock it out. From the top, G chord. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, sorry, it goes the other way. There's your vibrato. Alright, isn't that pretty? Hey, let's play it one more time. Come on. I messed up the ending there. Give me another shot. Come on, come on, coach. Let me give it to me. Send me the ball again. From the top, nice and slow. 1, 2, go. Lovely piece of music. Just play that one every morning when you wake up. Just wake up, wake up, wait for the coffee, take your coffee cup, go into your practice room, put the coffee cup on the. You got a little stand next to your guitar stuff, right? I've got in here. I have sheet music stand, computer stuff. You don't need any of that. Sheet music stand, little place for a cup of coffee. Sits right here. Okay, got my highlighter, pencils, phone. You can't go anywhere without your phone, right? It's sitting right there. And then just start your day every day out with that one, right? And try with plucking too. It's beautiful, right? All right, you get where it'll just make your day go better. All right. Let's talk this little light of mine. This little light of mine. I don't. Let's see. R-S-T. E-F-G. This little light of mine. No. This little light of mine. On every single song, every single instrument I play, except which one? The one I need. All right. Let me pull it up. This little light of mine. Isn't this website I have pretty nice? You just need a song, you just go get it. I love that. Why won't it let me share with Foursquare? All right. This little light of mine. Again, G chord. Okay. This little light of mine. This little light of mine. Oh, listen to that. A minor seventh in there. That's a different chord than you'd expect. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. Oh, so jazzy. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. Oh, B chord. What the heck? 4th fret. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And that's not, that's some jazz guy getting a hold of this thing and fancying it up. That is not what I remember from Vacation Bible School as a little boy. Let's see if we can figure this out. G chord. This little, now the A minor 7. Anytime you see a minor 7, you're going to think jazzy sound. I'm light of, so this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine. C chord, this little light of, and then just lift up your ring finger. Mine. Back to your G chord. I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine. And then your B chord, bar on 4, pinky on 7, right? Now there is another B chord. If you're just using a regular B chord, you can put an index finger on the 2 and then take your A shape, right? Ring, middle, pinky, ring, and middle. There's your A chord. Move it up to 4 and put this on the 2 back there. Okay, so don't hit this string, by the way. You can only hit 4 strings when you do that. I'm gonna let it shine, shine. I think the bar chord sounds better. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. D7's your turnaround. Okay. And you can either go back and play the song again or finish up. Okay, so you've got some new chords in there that are kind of funky, and will cause you to be like, I don't think he wrote this right, but it is right. It's really cool. He says confidently. Let's play. Let's take a look at the tough acts because I know this is probably what most of you guys will work on. G chord, go. Now you got to get your what feels like a C chord, and then use your pinky to get this 3. Go up to the 5, and then back to the G chord. To the 7, probably pinky on this. G chord. C chord. Pinky. Slide up and slide right back, eh? G chord. A minor 7 with her pinky. G chord, A minor 7 with the 3, pinky, 7, bar on 4, pinky on 7, pinky, pull it back to the 6, or change it out for your ring finger, whichever is easier for you. Then a 5. And by the way, if you strum this here, you get a B7. You can do that. You don't have to. And then back to the A minor 7 with the 3 with your pinky. Okay, and then I put a little caret over this. Hit this one kind of hard. 8, 7. Then I'll have a bar on 5, middle finger on the 6 on the 3rd string. It's going to be a nice, cool 7 sound. 7, 5, down to a G chord, a high D7, and can't you feel that? This note wants to go back to the beginning, or it wants to finish up the song. Okay. Fun. That's an A note needing desperately to get to the G. Okay. All right. So this little light of mine, that's a cool arrangement. That's not at all what you'd expect. So hope you have fun with that. All right, guys. Vic says that's beautiful. It is super fun to play. I don't know if you're talking about Santa Lucia or this little light of mine. Either way, they're both beautiful. All right. So book 1, 2, 3, we're done. I was hoping we'd get through 5 classical songs this week. I was kidding myself, obviously. Let's just grab the Bagatelle and maybe Lesson 61, and then we'll play through those real quick, and then we'll have 3 for next week. How about that? All right, so book 0. Started work on the other songs out of book 1. And they're not that much harder than book 0, guys. So you're going to be, well, it's a nice step up into, I think around book 4 is when things start to get really crazy. But so we'll have plenty of time to get our skills in place. Now, I was singing the blues to my guitar teacher the other day. I just can't get this song in me. And he goes, well, it's because you're trying to force it. You can't force stuff in music. And he was like, yeah, here's what you're doing wrong. And so, yeah, be patient with yourself as you grow. Your fingers aren't just magically going to do something just because it looks like you should be able to on the paper. So if you're fighting things, please know you're in good company. Okay? Did we do Bagatelle last week? It seemed like we might have, but maybe not. Remember at the bottom you have this beautiful harmonic. Where's my 12? Okay. We hit 12 on the 4th string. Okay. That's going to be your harmonic that we're after. And let's see how we do. Okay. I'm using a D chord and then just lifting up my index finger to get to that first set there. Okay. From the top. 1, 2, 3. Use 2 finger or 1 finger. finger. Oh, there's two of them. That's a cool song. There's not a lot there. We wish there would be maybe a little bit more something else in there. But I think in terms of getting cool sounds out of your instrument, this might be it. Let's play it one more time from the top. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, just let that ring out. That's fun. That's a fun song. I'd smiley face that one. All right, and then for our end of the week wrap up, and I know I've kept you too long. Sorry, guys. Lesson 61. This is absolutely beautiful. This is so cool. It doesn't get really messy till the very end, also. So this is another one to just play, right? Another one to start your day with. Start with your C chord, by the way. Okay. All right, lesson 61, not fast. It's supposed to be really fast. Okay, let's play it really slow. 1, 2, 3. I always get a little mixed up at the end there. Just he starts moving the music around quite a little bit. If you can get it right, I got it pretty close, not quite right, but in that neighborhood. And then remember at the end, I've been playing this wrong all along. I hit the 3, oh, oh, and then you've got that bass note is tied, so you only need to hit the 1 and the 2 out of the C chord, right? Because the bass note. keeps ringing underneath it, and it makes it sound really, really pretty. So I know I kept you over 15 minutes too long. We started 5 minutes late, remember? So really, it's only 10 minutes over. Thank you guys. It's always exciting to go through this stuff, see what we can do, what we can't do, what's going well, what's not going so well. Hopefully finding some places where you're being successful and a few places where you're failing utterly, right? And then those are the areas that we work on, right? And with this one, if you could get that where it's at 132, which is crazy fast, it would sound really, really interesting and really, really neat. So be one of those songs. I don't believe in playing fast, but I do believe that every once in a while you find a song and you're like, okay, I think I got this thing. Let's see if I can crank the speed up on it. Nancy last week, who's in the orchestra, she's also coming to the in-person class, played on Dante in G from Caruli off of our website last week in class, played it much faster than I play it, and it sounded really, really good. So, all right, hope you guys have a great week. We'll try to finish up Book 0 next week. With Ninu, Ukrainian Melody, and Lesson 48, and then we will start digging into book number 1. We'll also continue one song a week from book 0. So those were not going away. Those are good to have around. All right, I'll see you guys somewhere down the road. Thanks for being here. Peace. Oh, that's good.